Tryambakam yajamahe sagandim pushtivarana urvarukamiva bandhana mrityurmukshiyamamritato.
Namaste. The topic of stress and worry, very, very popular these days, and it's not too hard to come across solutions like stretching out the body, relaxing the body, doing breathing practices, all of which we're going to do in this class. They're good things, but they are symptom relievers. They don't get to the cause of it. And think about it for a moment. What is the cause? What's the cause of stress is that we don't like what's going on right now. That unhealthy kind of stress. What's the cause of worry? We don't like what we think is going to be going on in the future. Neither one of them is really about what's going on. It's about us. And when our focus is so much on us, that's when we get into stress and worry. And we begin to see life as if through a microscope. We say a very detailed level of what reality is all about. But we don't see the underlying flow, the divine flow that really is the fabric of life. That's the solution for stress and worry, to get into that flow, to see it, to get into it, to enjoy it. Because there is a divine flow under everything. Let's try to feel that flow in our practice today and see if we can get that sense that there's something always taking care of business and we're just a part of a larger picture that is going to turn out very good. Let's come into a sitting position. Rebecca will be assisting in this class. Sitting upright, tall spine. And let's do a little breathing technique that can be wonderful right in the moment for relieving stress. It's Bhramari Pranayama, the bee breath, the humming breath. Very simple, breathing through the nose, but on the exhalations, we create the humming sound. Use whatever length of breath is going to be comfortable for you. Longer is better, but not if it's straining. So let's close the eyes, lift the gaze to the point between the eyebrows, and inhale, and exhale with a hum. Again, inhale through the nose, breathe with the belly, let the belly expand, exhale, humming. Several more times, try to feel the vibration in your brain, in your whole body. Especially feeling the vibration in the heart area. One more breath. And let go of the breath and just sit in that stillness after the vibration has stopped and enjoy that relaxation. It's a wonderful, simple technique to use in the moment to relieve stress. Now let's open the eyes. We're going to warm up the body a bit here. Rebecca is going to lie on her back and guide you through this first warm-up exercise. So usually we're your mirror images, but for this exercise, we won't be your mirror image. Bend your left knee and bring it in and squeeze it in to the torso, and then relax it back out straight. Same thing with the right knee. Bring it in, squeeze it in, and relax it out straight. Left side again. Bring it in, squeeze, and release. The foot just stays relaxed. Right side. Squeeze it and release it. This time bring the left in and let's hold it for a few breaths. Just letting the left leg relax, foot relaxes. Just let it get a gentle stretch here. And then bring both hands, interlaced fingers behind the left knee and straighten the leg, reach the foot toward the sky. Let's stretch out through the back of the leg a bit. Really focusing on lengthening through the heel. Get lots of length through the back of the leg. And let's do some ankle rotations in one direction and in the other direction. And then relax the leg down to the floor once again. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Bring the right leg in and squeeze the knee in. Squeeze the thigh against the abdomen. Let the hip and buttock release on that side. Keep the foot relaxed. And then bring the hands behind the knee and reach the leg for the sky. Lengthening up through the heel. Feel like you're lengthening from the sit bone, that right leg, all the way up through the heel. You're not just holding the leg in the air, you're lengthening it into the air. And let's do some ankle rotation in one direction. And then the other direction. And now let's release. Bring both knees to the chest. Wrap your arms around them and roll along the length of your spine, forward and back. Larger and larger movements until you come all the way up to sitting. And then let's go all the way up to standing. We're going to warm up the shoulders and the spine a little bit now with a very simple side-to-side stretch. Let's bring the left hand to the rim of the pelvis. Okay, inhale, right arm up. Exhale over to the side. Inhale up. Bring it down to the right side of the pelvis. Now the left arm comes over with the inhale, and then the exhale to the stretch. Inhale up and back down, side to side. Try to spread the curvature throughout your body. Don't concentrate it in a small area of the spine. See if you can get the hips even into the act a bit as you go side to side here. So the hip crease gets a little bit of fold in it. One more time. And back to upright. Okay, let's now do the full yogic breath flow. I'll turn sideways here. We'll focus on, as I said, we're focusing on flow in this whole class today. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind. We're going to start out focusing on the flow of not just the breath, but the energy in the body, which rises through the body, especially through the spine as you inhale, descends as you exhale, and we'll move the hands in harmony with that. We'll move the whole body in harmony with that. Bring the hands just in front of the tailbone, almost touching the body, not quite, and inhale. Try to feel that the hands are matching the energy movements in the spine as you reach up, and exhale, hands just barely in front of the body, all the way down to a forward bend, comfortable forward bend. And then inhaling, sweeping up through the front of the body, stretching open, hold just a moment, exhaling, releasing down, smoothing your energy down through the body. So a couple more times, just easily moving in a flow. Almost like you're losing yourself in a flow. That's what we'd like to do. We'd like to lose the egoic self in the divine flow. Oh, let's do one more time. Such a great flowing exercise. Do it anywhere, anytime. Stretch up tall. Hold just a moment here at the top. And then exhale, circle arms down to your sides once again. Just relax shoulders. Relax your gaze upward to the point between the eyebrows. Close your eyes. We're going to do some rounds of Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. We're going to start slow, using the first time through, maybe the second time through too, as a bit of a warm-up, so we can get in a deeper flow as we go through this. So let's bring the hands to the heart. You can open the eyes once again. This is the first position of Surya Namaskar. Let's relax the hands to the sides. Inhale, sweep them up. Little backward bend here. Let's just hold briefly and exhale forward, down to a forward bending position. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Just allow the body to soften, the crown of the head to release toward the floor. Really let the crown go. Feel like you're getting space between the vertebrae here. And then bend the knees a little bit, bring the hands to the floor. Inhaling, step the left foot back. We'll be mirroring you here. Again, let's just allow the pelvis to settle a little bit toward the floor as we hold for a couple breaths. And then bring palms to floor. Turn the left toes under. Inhale, step the right foot back to plank position. And then knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chin, and slide up into easy cobra pose. Really activate the back muscles. Don't just push yourself up with the arms. And release down. Press back and up into downward facing dog. Stay here for a couple breaths, allowing the backs of the calves to stretch out. So let's release through the backs of the calves. Let the heels relax toward the floor. And you can alternate, pressing one heel toward the floor and then the other. Just bending the opposite knee. All right, then our next inhalation, let's step the left foot forward between the hands. Again, let the hips get opened up here. Try to end up with the ankle directly beneath the knee when you step the foot forward. And then turn the right toes under. Inhale, step forward into the forward bending position. So once again, let the spine lengthen. Easy. Soften the knees a bit. Inhaling, sweeping up and tuck the tailbone. A little bit of a backward bend. Exhale back to the original position. Pranayama. We'll do it again. Let's relax the arms to the sides. Inhale, sweeping upward. Exhale, folding forward at the hips and then letting the spine relax. This time let's inhale, step the right foot back. And let's come up with the hands onto the left knee. Press into the knee and open up the front of the right hip a bit more. And then let's release the hands to the floor. Turn the right toes under, step back to plank position, and then knees to the floor, chest and chin. Lift forward and up with the back. Arms just in a supporting roll here. And release down and back and up into down dog. Stay here for another moment or two, letting the backs of the legs lengthen out, but try to lengthen the spine also. Feel you're reaching back and up through the tailbone. Next, inhale, step the right foot forward. Bring the hands up onto the right knee. Press into the knee, opening up. And then let's relax, hands down, turn the toes under. Inhale, stepping forward, relaxing into the forward bend, and then soften the knees. Inhale and sweep up, open, and back to Pranayama on the exhalation. Relax the hands to the sides for a moment and just stand quietly, eyes closed. So as we do some more rounds of sun salutation, let's try to get into a flow with it. First, let's try to connect with the flow of the breath. And what I mean by connecting with the flow of the breath is not just to observe it, but to feel that the inhalations are pulling you, lifting you into a backward bending position. And that the exhalations, generally speaking, are bringing you into a forward bending position. Try to feel the physical breath as if it were moving the body. Let's bring the hands to the heart once again. And release the hands to your sides. On exhale, inhale. Feel it drawing you into a backward bend. As you exhale, come forward. Just let the exhalation take you into Padahastasana. Let the next inhalation step your left foot back into the lunge once again. And bring the arms up overhead this time. Exhaling. Bring the hands to the floor. Step the right foot back to join the left. And knees to the floor. Chest and chin. Inhale takes you up into Cobra Pose. The exhalation lets you down and back and up into Downward Dog. Let the inhale take your left foot forward into Banarasana, Monkey Pose once again, sweeping the arms up. The exhalation, bring you forward into Padahastasana. Relax, torso down. Inhaling, sweeping up, tucking the pelvis open. Exhaling back to Pranamasana. Let's immediately go through another round. Feel the breath, the flow of the breath moving you. Relax the arms down. Inhaling, sweeping up. Exhaling, the breath moves you into Padahastasana. The next inhalation steps the right foot back for you and draws you up into Banarasana. The exhalation brings you to the plank position, and then knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Inhale, sweeps you into Cobra. Exhale, presses you back into Down Dog. Inhalation, right foot forward, and sweep up. Exhaling, stepping forward into Padahastasana. Inhale, sweeping fully upright, little backward bend. Exhale back to Pranamasana. Relax the arms to your sides now. Close the eyes. The whole sequence can be so effortless when you let the breath move you. Not thinking of how to use muscles so much as how to ride on the breath. And we can get an even deeper experience of flow if, instead of just the physical breath, we tune into the astral breath as it flows through the body. The spinal currents that rise with each physical inhalation and descend with each physical exhalation. Try to feel those moving you as we go through a couple more rounds of Surya Namaskar. Let's bring the hands to the heart. And before we start, just feel those up and down flows in the center of your torso as you breathe. And try to feel a sense of enjoyment. Okay, we're not just trying to tune into some impersonal flow. You're trying to tune into your flow, the way the divine is moving through you right now. So be with those currents. And then let's release the hands to the sides, and with the inhaling rising current, let it draw you up into the backward bend. And let the descending current fold you into Padahastasana. The rising current steps the left foot back and come into Banarasana, sweeping the arms up. And the exhaling, descending current takes you into plank position, and then knees, chest, and chin, sweeping into Cobra with the rising current. Descending current takes you into Downward Facing Dog. Ascending current steps your left foot forward and sweeps up into Banarasana. Descending current takes you into Padahastasana. Ascending lifts you. And descending returns you to your origin point. Let's just take a breath or two in between rounds here. If you can really tap into those upward and downward flows, you can do a lot of this, not just Surya Namaskar, but a lot of living, feeling that you're in a flow. Things will go more easily when you stay connected inwardly like that. Let's do one more round of Surya Namaskar. Let's relax the arms to the sides, and the rising current lifts you up. Descending current folds you forward. Rising current steps your right foot back into Banarasana. Descending current takes you into plank and then Ashtanga Namaskar. Up into Cobra with the rising current. Descending current to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Rising, right foot comes forward, sweeping up. Descending current to Padahastasana. Rising current lifts you. Descending current takes you back to Pranayama. Close the eyes once again. Relax the arms to your sides and just enjoy the flow inside of you. How much we miss of life when we focus on the details. When we become too detail aware, we lose the flow completely. That's when stress and worry begin to take over. Doesn't mean we're just being carried along by a current, whichever way things go. We need to put out effort. But to feel the flow, until you feel the flow, you'll never know which direction to put effort out in, because you won't know which way the flow is going. We want to find the flow in our lives, and it's like we're in a river. Swim with the current. Okay. That's the most important of all flows to find, is the flow of divine grace, which is always happening. So I'm going to take a moment now to reorient my mat, and then we'll come back and do Parshvottanasana, the side stretching pose. All right, now for Parshvottanasana. This asana is all about active surrender. So we don't think of those two terms together all the time. They're a wonderful blend and a necessary blend. Surrender is not passive. Let's step the right foot back. Moderate distance here. Turn the foot out enough for balance, but not any more than that. Bring the hands behind. If you can bring them into the pranam position behind. If not, you can hold the elbows, or you can even bring the hands to the heart. Your choice. Let's inhale. Exhale with a straight spine, long back of the neck coming forward, out over the left leg. Just a breath or so here to lengthen the spine. Really reach forward through the crown of the head. And then as you take your next exhalation, soften. Relax the whole body down. If you can keep your hands behind you, so much the better. If you need to change them for balance sake, then go ahead and release. But ideally, the energy of the hands will be helping your energy to flow toward the brain. Gravity is helping it, energy of the hands helping it. Add your attitude also of just offering yourself. Silently affirm, I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And let's bend the left knee, inhaling. Release the hands, and let's stretch up and step forward. Exhaling, relax arms down to your sides. Just close the eyes, and we can really offer ourselves fully into the flow of the grace. It's a tremendously joyful thing to know that this greater power, the only power of the universe really, that you're in harmony with it. Let's do the other side. Let's step the left foot back now. Again, bring the hands behind or in front as you choose to. And let's inhale. Exhale, long spine out over the right leg. One more inhalation. Get the spine as long as it can be. And then exhaling, release down to your final position. If you need to have the right knee stay bent a little bit to get a little bit more inverted so gravity can lengthen your spine, please do that. The breath flowing, silently affirm, I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And let's bend the right knee. Inhaling, coming up, release the arms, stretch forward and step forward. And relax the arms down by your sides. Just pause for a moment in Tadasana, close the eyes. Really have that feeling of just giving myself into the greater flow. It's not all about me. The more it's about me, the rockier that flow is. Let's come down into Vajrasana, firm pose. Briefly, sitting here, just letting the legs relax for a moment. Palms up, junction of thigh and abdomen. And then let's come on to hands and knees for Rajakapatasana, royal pigeon pose. Step the left knee forward between the hands, left foot out to the right side of the body, reach back through the right leg and walk your hands in. Come into a bit of a backward bend. But more important than that is the lifting. Lift through the heart. Just rise to the sky. Feel like you're lifting out of any adverse reactions you're having to life, any stressful feelings, worries. Just lift above them. This is where your soul is. It's way above them. One more breath. See if you can reach up just a little higher with the spine. Shoulders relax down away from ears. And let's release and come back into hands and knees just for a moment. And let's step the right knee forward now. And again, slide back through the left leg, walk the hands in, lift the heart, rising, opening upward. Press the outside, the front of the back leg and the outside of the front leg into the floor, lifting through the spine. Like you're lifting out of preoccupation with the past or the future. Silently affirm. Arise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. And let's release from the asana and come into a cross-legged sitting position. Anyone that's going to be comfortable for you. I'm going to sit on a cushion here. You may wish to also, because we're going to do Yoga Mudra, forward bending asana. Another wonderful surrender asana for allowing that sense of I to just dissolve into spirit. Let's bring the hands behind, just as we did before, Pranamasana, or hold the opposite elbows if you can bring the palms together easily. And let's inhale. Exhale forward. Bring the forehead all the way down to the floor. If the forehead doesn't reach the floor, bring the hands in pranam position in front and rest your forehead on the backs, on the outsides of the thumbs. But in either case, just feel a gentle pressure at the point between the eyebrows, attracting energy there, the magnetism of the hands, directing energy to that point. Just releasing away from that I, me, my, and mine. Silently affirm, I am thine. Receive me. I am thine. Receive me. Next inhalation, let's come back to upright. Release the arms and lie on your back on the floor for Jatara Parivartanasana, supine twist. Stretch the body out long. Again, Rebecca won't be mirroring you on this one. It'll be easier to follow if she doesn't. Let's bend the left knee. Slide the foot in. Shift your hips to the left. Bring the left foot to the right thigh. Right hand to left knee. Left arm out to your side. Let's inhale. Exhale, roll on the right hip over to the side. Keep the left shoulder blade against the floor. You can lift your head, turn your gaze over the left arm, and gently release the head back to the floor. Feel like you're opening the body to accommodate that flow of divine grace that's always available, but sometimes we shut it out. Mentally affirm, I open to the flow of God's life within me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. And now let's release. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, roll back to center. Shift your hips back to center. Straighten out the left leg. Just pause for a breath or two between sides. Just enjoy how wonderful it is to relax away from the tensions of focusing on me. Let's do the other side. Bend the right knee. Slide the foot in. Shift your hips over to the right. And right foot to left thigh. Left hand to right knee. Right arm out to your sides. Let's inhale. Exhale, rolling on the left hip over to the side. Keeping the right shoulder blade on the floor. If you want to lift your head and turn your gaze out over right shoulder, please do. Just relax into the openness. Keep length through the body. Keep the left leg actively lengthening, helping your spine lengthen. I open to the flow of God's life within me. And one last inhale. Let's exhale, roll out of the asana. Shift the hips back to center. Straighten the right leg out once again and just lie briefly in Savasana before our final active asana. Do a little partial inversion, Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. So if you'd like to come up enough to place a blanket on your mat so that you can protect your cervical curve, for those of you who come up substantially into this asana, Rebecca will use one. Just lie on the blanket, shoulders on, head off. Bend the knees, slide the feet in toward you. Tuck the pelvis on inhalation. Press feet into the floor, lifting pelvis, lifting spine. Bring the hands together underneath you. Roll onto the tops of the shoulders a bit and open chest. Open breathing. Feel a position of, again, offering. Just relaxing away from too much focus on the small self. That only creates tension, stress, worry. Silently affirm, I offer every thought as a bridge to divine grace. I offer every thought as a bridge to divine grace. Now let's release from the asana, gracefully coming down. You can straighten out the legs. We're going to have a very brief, deep relaxation, Savasana. You might want to take the blanket out from underneath you with a minimum of movement. Lie back in corpse pose. It's enough to let the body completely relax, letting go of any effort except the effort to hold yourself open to the divine flow. There's no physical effort. There's no energetic effort. It's really just an effort of the heart to stay open, to invite the flow of spirit to move through you more and more in your life. let's bend the knees, slow, and bring the feet in, so wrap your arms around them, and once again, roll along the length of your spine. Little movements, larger movements, and coming all the way up. And let's sit into a meditative position. We're going to practice just a little bit of the Hong Sa meditation technique, which we explored in more depth some classes ago. Check our website if you weren't able to see that one. Close the eyes, lift the gaze to the point between the eyebrows, sitting with a straight spine, palms up on the thighs somewhere. The closer to the torso, the better. And just allow the breath to flow through you easily, not controlling it, just noticing it as it flows in through the nose, out through the nose. Try to feel the breath as something external to who you are. You're watching it, but you're not the breath. Just breathing is happening. And as each inhalation comes in, accompany it silently, thinking the word, the sound Hong, H-O-N-G. As the breath goes out, mentally repeat Sa. Gently curl the right forefinger in with the inhalation and the Hong. Relax it out with the exhalation and the Sa. Try to feel this whole technique as a flow. It's not a bunch of separate components. Just everything moving easily together. Feel that meditation is happening, that the divine is meditating through this body, through this mind, and you're enjoying that divine flow. Now let go of the technique and just sit in the stillness. Just ignoring the breath. Feel that even that stillness, there's something of a flow, very subtle. It's the flow of your own life. Can you feel it? Can you touch it? Can you sense a direction to it? The more we can feel the divine plan for us, the more we can move with it. The more we'll relax away from any sense of worry or stress, because we'll know that God is managing the process of our life. Let's slowly open the eyes once again now. We don't always feel a flow in our lives, and certainly don't always feel the divine flow in our lives. But if we can just pull back and trust that there is a divine flow, then that will create the circumstances that will enable us to feel it more easily in our lives. And when we feel that divine flow, that's when our lives really work for the best. Joy to you.